They like the chaos.
They like the chaos. So when you're able to
The chaos.
let that chaos reign with
The chaos.
let that chaos reign with
The chaos.
let that chaos reign with
Must reign.
Hell no.
So BGS,
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
when you come over to this channel, my understanding is that you coming over here to straighten people
No.
or clarify
Yeah,
something. No?
to clarify my point of view.
I just would like to say, I think what you said, which is it's not about, did you not say that? It's not really about self-improvement. Did you say that?
Okay. I think I was very clear about what I said. Okay. What did I say? What did I say that the manosphere and the black manosphere especially was about? You heard me. What did I say?
I think what I heard you say was it was about men being aware and expressing themselves.
No. In other words, okay, this is the issue. Okay. And I know that you went to school. I know that you know how to listen. Okay.
You said a lot, so I'm trying to pick
No. I was very clear about what I said. The black manosphere. That's why I said it in simple language. I don't use big words. Okay.
Okay.
The manosphere is about expressing and bringing into awareness our point of view. That's all it is.
Okay, that's what I just said.
No, you didn't.
No, that's not what you said.
Here you go.
I mean, do you listen to yourself? I mean, May, I do this for a living. I've been doing this for like 35 years. I do this for a living. I pay attention to what people actually say.
Awareness and expressing themselves. That's
No. I said bringing awareness to their point of view. Okay.
Okay, bringing awareness
to their point of view. In other words, there's a lot of things. That's where Mookie came up. Okay, about MGTOWs. Okay, MGTOWs was not about women. People think it was. In fact, if you listen to Thinking Ape, he used to be what he used to be. He used to be something. But Thinking Ape, and you listen to the old Bar, right? They tell you it's not about women. In fact, they tell you ignore women. It's about this change. It's a change in the laws of the state. Okay, that's what MGTOW was about. Because the MRA is about changing the law slowly over time. The thing is, the MRAs had been around like 30 years. They hadn't changed shit, right? So they need a much more radical point of view. That was MGTOW. MGTOW say starve the beast. In other words, cut off long-term relationships, cut off producing children, and cut off marriage. Okay. In other words, because the state needs what? State needs stable families, and they need to produce children for workers. If you don't do that, the state will disappear, and they know that. So the state will have to make adjustments to get the men back in line to actually start making family formation again, which is what's going on right now. Why you think Reeves and all Eddie and all these other people talking about male loneliness and shit like that? Even though they know what's going on, they're trying to get men back on board, back in line to actually start funding and producing families again. Okay, that's what we're trying to do. The thing
there's no way we'll do it. No,
and there's no way we'll do it under these conditions. Okay,
no. Theo, you were saying that, but you're actually chasing a woman as a
okay, stick to what we're talking about.
I am.
No, you're not.
He's actively
we're not going to do no personal stuff. We're not.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying,
yes, you are. You are doing.
Said he was a passport
no. He's a passport bro. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Y'all don't like logical.
No. May, stop. Okay.
I mean, it's like
hold on. You're smarter than this. That's what I'm talking about. You're smarter.
I heard you say
no, you're not. You're smarter than this. Okay.
Don't try that. Don't try that.
You are smarter than this. What is what?
I am very smart.
Why are passport, bro? He's a passport. Why are you going overseas, Theo? You're a passport, bro. Why do you go overseas?
Because. No, let's actually answer it. So I did over 20 years abroad, and I'm going overseas because of the laws in particular. So I want a better law environment. So I'm going to Brazil or Colombia, just mainly for the laws. Now, May, just so you know about me, I've been in MGTOW 15 years, and I earn over $600,000 a year. And if I get married abroad, I will not bring her back to the United States. So I'm taking all of my assets with me to another country. I am not remaining in the West.
You said if you get married, Theo?
He's been married before.
If I've been married before.
Because you've been married before. And I think I saw you on a panel or somewhere doing a presentation, Theo, where you were saying that you were dating somebody who was of a Latino.
What's that got to do with anything?
It has nothing to do with
It's because
he just made the comment that we're never coming back. That's what he said.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with who he's dating?
That means that we're not dealing with women.
No. What does that have to do with who is he dating?
That's none of your business, really.
He threw his hands up and he said, "We're not coming back."
And he said, what did he say exactly? No. What did he say exactly? Listen to what he said.
Like
What did he say exactly?
No.
No. It's pretty. It should be short-term memory should work fairly well.
He just throwed his hands up and he said, "We're not coming back."
He said, if I choose to get married,
that's what he just said.
We are not coming back. If you're going to quote the guy, quote him directly. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm talking about what he said before.
Hey, now, May, if you keep this up, okay. If you keep this up, guess what's going to happen?
Okay.
Yeah. So if it happens, because I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but if I do it, yeah. But in the meantime, I will be buying a house abroad. I will be building a gym abroad. I might be doing some other things abroad. I'm actually building a cloud environment right now for my students. I teach hundreds of Black men cloud, so that's my main endeavor. Mm-hmm. But the laws are so bad in the United States for family. Mm-hmm. I will not even. It's impossible. I will not even date. It's just is obscene. Yeah. It's just horrible.
I have a couple of PhDs. Dr. Neal's one of them said he refuses to date in the West anymore, and he still teaches. Refuses to date in the West anymore.
Yeah. Theo, do you realize that in a lot of these countries, this idea of law and order, things making sense and being able to hold people accountable legally, that a lot of stuff doesn't work when you go to
Christ.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
I'm not talking about women. I'm just talking about the law.
Does Japan and places like Korea hold people accountable?
Yeah, I did 16 years in Japan, May. I said I spent over 20 years abroad.
I'm not saying there's no exception.
I'm saying, like, how many years abroad have you been?
Well, the reason why I'm saying that.
No. How many years abroad have you been?
Answer the question directly.
No, you answer the question directly.
I'm answering.
Answer, please.
Can I just get like 2 seconds?
No, hey, look.
No,
none of that female stuff on here. No. What I want is a direct answer. This is a male space. Use your logical mind, okay, instead of your feeling mind, please.
I'm not using feeling. I'm about to tell you a fact.
No, you're not.
Okay, I need a number. Feelings. How many years abroad have you spent?
That's what I'm about to say.
Say it.
I can just
say it now.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I spent X amount of years
abroad.
Yeah.
When it comes to the Dominican Republic, I've spent 10 years in and out, not full time. In and out as an expat and a homeowner in the Dominican Republic. So I can only respond to like being there part-time in that country. But what I can say, there's a brother, I don't know, you probably know of him. He ended up going to the Philippines. Think about that, Theo. He was in DR and he ended up going to the Philippines and he talked very thoroughly. I know y'all know who he is. And he talked very thoroughly about how it was unfair, a lot of the laws and the regulations in the DR, and it doesn't have a lot of order.
I know you talked about it. The thing is that all laws are different.
What's his name?
Yes.
I know what you talked about, because he said he got his teeth capped. Okay.
Yes, that's him. Yes.
When you go to any country, the laws work differently. They don't work the same way they work here. Okay.
Yeah, that's all
but he will tell you he's not coming back to the States to get married or have a relationship. Okay.
I mean, I can say this, like, especially with DR being Haitian, it's any of these countries. You just have to have a network. You can't just assume or have this.
Made dreams. That's it.
May.
Yeah, you can't just have this thought process where, because I come from the States, things are going to be orderly fashion. No.
Yeah, they don't care.
They don't care. And this is one of the things where, like, a lot of sisters, don't really understand, especially if you have not been to, you know, DR is one place, but you go to, like I said, Haiti, Africa,
Yeah.
South, any of
Oh yeah,
these.
yeah. But Central
Yeah,
America, there's a lot of stuff.
yeah,
Basically, but you have to have a network.
it's
Ghana.
a network.
Me and Dr. Reef were talking about the same thing about the difference between Kenya and Ghana, right? With Ghana, you basically there is no straightforward way of doing things, right? Because it's not established. Okay, it's more about connection and more about networking, right? Okay, whereas Kenya is because they're we're under British rule for a long time, right? It's a lot more formulated, right? Okay, like so like go to Asia, you know, and it's
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about, right? Okay, if you want a visa or a green card, there's a straightforward way of doing things. Okay, you go to Japan, it's a straightforward way of doing things, right? You
Mm-hmm.
go to Latin America and most of Africa, it's hit or miss. Okay, you got to know somebody to know somebody. Okay, even places that are gringo wise, like Panama, Guatemala, places like that, certain parts of Latin America, right? Okay. I was saying, because I was just saying this 10 years ago, right? But about the continent, right? About Ghana, because I was pissed, right? Okay. I can go down and within 3 years get a passport in Guatemala, okay? And Ghana, they will take me 10, 11 years and a whole bunch of money because there's no straightforward path. Even though the laws are in the books, there's no straightforward path to actually accessing that. So we go to different countries, you know, everything don't work like the West.
Yeah.
Right. So my point, when let me talk to you, May, you went back and forth between the DR, right?
Yeah.
Okay, when I went to Japan, it was one way. I actually got residency in Japan. My money came from Japan. My legal was from Japan. I'd had no relation to the United States, no property. Fortunately, my state allowed me to vote, but I had no bank account, nothing in the United States, no taxes paid, no money earned. I was there in Japan. This is what I'm talking about. I really left. It wasn't this going back and forth stuff. I was gone. And so when I'm going to Brazil or Colombia or Peru, something like that, it's going to be the same thing. I'm going. Yeah. I'm bringing the dogs with me. I'm bringing everything. All the legal stuff. It's all the entire system is going abroad. I will not have any property here in the United States at all. I will not have any connection. That's why I say it's a total cutoff. And that's the way I want it
now, so that you know that you want to stay.
I know that I want to stay. That okay.
He's got property down there already.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay. I actually do have property in Rio.
Okay.
But my life was so good in Japan. I can't stand it here in the United States. So of course I'm going back. It's very simple. I'm 100%. I'm going back.
I was the same way when I came back from overseas back in 2004. I did not want to come back.
Yeah, I was you know what? I was the same way when I went back down to Guatemala for like 3 months, man. When I came, I didn't want to come back.
Yeah, and I had been out of the country for 6 years at that point. Yeah. So coming back was just out of the question. But you know,
it's a culture shock. There's a I can't remember his name. There's I think he calls it "Quit in America." Okay, a black guy talks about why he left. Okay, and how a black man is treated abroad, a black American is treated abroad, how you get a lot more respect, a lot more leniency because you're an American instead of a black American. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Me being an American and not a black American, night and day difference.
Night and day difference.
Oh my goodness, it's so much better.
Yeah, because if not, they treat you like an African. Okay.
Yeah.
But you know what, Theo, you got a different situation. You're in Japan, and that's the advanced, society, and they have a lot of order and respect. That's different.
But
some of these third world countries,
they're different from what?
Some of these, I'm gonna say, some of these third world countries and countries where a lot of people are the poor, and you, because you're Western, you have more money. I get what I don't like when I travel, especially to the third world, which is what I call like gringo fatigue. I get like I get really treated like I'm a tourist.
A mark. You are a tourist to them because you are.
And it's like that, though. It's like that. When you live in some of these poor places, everybody treats you like that. They're always trying to cheat you and scheme you. And the reason why I do know that is because I follow some blogs.
You know what? You know what?
Blogs.
You know what? I was down in Guatemala for 4 months. Okay. I wasn't treated like a gringo. Why? Because I blended in. I didn't do gringo shit. Okay.
Yeah, like
I caught the chicken bus just like everybody else. They ate the same place.
yes.
Everybody said I blended in so well. They thought I was one of them.
Yeah.
Man, I'll make it clear. For like, I'll give you two examples. One of my very good friends, I would say about 2 years ago, decided to up and leave. Right, he's been on his motorcycle traveling. He's been to almost 60 countries. They call him digital nomad, right?
Yeah.
And then when I asked him, just like as many of the men on this panel will tell you, the feeling of being talked to as a human being, or being someone taught, having the curiosity of like, what is this, what is that, right? There's no pressure. There's like, oh, can you teach me something? Can I learn something? There's a fair exchange, right? And then so for many brothers, once they experience that and they just see, wow, like as many say, when they come back to the States, they're like, man, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
It's like you start to rationalize. I'm back on this hamster wheel,
right?
And it's not even fun.
Yeah. It's a nightmare here. I really can't stand it. Like when I came back and the police could shoot you.
Yes.
I was like, what the heck?
You notice immediately when you first get off the bus or get out of the cab and walk down the street and the police car rolls right by you, your gut tightens up.
Yeah. It's horrifying.
It's horrifying, yeah.
Whereas in Japan, the UK, they just walk up and talk to you because they know you don't have a gun.
Yeah.
So they're like, hey, what are you doing? Or like, do you need some help or something like that? Yeah. In Japan, you can urinate on the street, barf in front of the police, and they'll just come up to you and say, like, are you okay?
Yeah.
That's it. And they're like, I need to go home. They're like, oh yeah, okay, go ahead and go home.
Yeah.
And, like, I was like, they can actually think that I did something wrong in the United States and shoot me without me being aware that I was actually a target. I'm like, oh my goodness, how horrifying this country is. I don't even want to go outside.
Yeah. You know what?
That's white culture, though.
Okay, you're not understanding what we're saying because you're not
understanding this.
You're not understanding.
No.
Yeah, you're not understanding. It's okay.
Yeah.
What do I not understand, BGS? I said it's white culture.
Okay, you do not. Of course, it's white culture. Okay. Okay. The only thing parallel. The only thing parallel is being a Palestinian in Gaza. Okay. That's the parallel.
Exactly, because I mean, I was in Europe for 4 years, and that was white culture too, and that shit just didn't happen.
It didn't happen. Yeah.
Yeah. Drastically.
Yeah. I was in the UK. I just walked up to the police officer and said, like, you're not armed. Like, how, if I do something wrong, like, what do you do? And he just said, I just show you a photo of my mother-in-law. How's that? I was looking at him like, are you serious? And he's like, yeah. He's like, I don't even care. It's you're good. Like, if you really do something wrong, we'll just call a lot of us at you and we'll get you.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I get it. Trying to explain the experience of a black male in America to a woman, to anybody else, is almost impossible. Okay.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible.
His experience, BGS. I was just saying that the part of why he's experiencing that is white supremacy. When you go to brown nations, he was in Japan. He's around.
Hold on. Okay, let her finish.
I can't finish the sentence. I'm sorry.
No. Okay, what did I just say, May? Listen to what I'm saying. I said, let her finish.
Yeah, good.
Well, okay. Let me ask you, May. What's your issue? Okay, because you're defensive. Everything I say, you're trying to defend yourself. Okay, I said, let her finish.
It was a lot of different voices. I couldn't hear.
No. I don't want to hear that. Because you're talking to me.
I'm not defensive.
Yeah, you are. I got 2 daughters, man. I know what defensive.
You cut me off a lot when I'm talking. So
you cut people off a lot when you're talking. Okay. I said let her finish. Because you just cut people off. Okay. You jump right in, cut people off. Well, go ahead. You were going to say something. Do you remember what it was?
Yeah, of course. What I was saying is I travel a lot too. I'm a world traveler. I travel a lot. I don't have a whole ton of countries under my belt, but I'm working on it. And so, yeah, I've seen what you're talking about. So I have to kind of go back a little bit on what I said about white supremacy. Partly it is that, but I do know that when you go, like I've been to London and I saw this Indian guy throwing trash cans in Hyde Park, and I saw two bobbies come from different directions, and they just walked over and they talked to him. He was drunk and belligerent, and they just talked to him like he was a human being. And I heard it because I was sitting on the bench, and they talked to him like a person, and they asked him what was wrong, why did he have a bad day. They gave him, some advice or whatever. And they sent him on his way, didn't arrest him, didn't beat him or anything. So I definitely see that. I don't know. Maybe there's an American brand of white supremacy.
It is.
There is.
There's a bunch of brands of white supremacy. And white supremacy, in fact, is global. In fact, I forget his name. He actually ran for vice president of the Green Party. He was saying the same. White supremacy is global. What's going on right now with the Ukraine and in the Middle East? That's white supremacy. Okay.
That's white-on-white crime.
Yeah, that's a different version of white supremacy. Okay.
Yes, America has the most virulent type.
It's the most
that in South Africa.
That in Israel has the most virulent.
Israel.
The last time I saw it, they didn't drop bombs on the ghetto. Okay. Because they need to work, so that's probably why they didn't. But anyway.
Yep. So again, like when I was in France, I was at Sorbonne for a year, and like they didn't like how I was riding my bike one time. They stopped me, and I just said, "Je suis américain." I just said, "I'm American," and they're like, "Okay, they let me go."
Yeah, you're American.
That was it.
Yeah,
it was done.
The black man experience is unique. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
yeah.
Theo,
they didn't care.
Theo, I was just in Nice, and again, like we say, different levels of white supremacy.
Right.
But I can definitely say in these type of environments, the European style of white supremacy, it is not as aggressive as the trauma that you deal with in America.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm horrified to go outside.
Yeah. Even in Latin America, I mean, white supremacy even exists in Latin America, believe it or not, with Las Castas. Okay. The lighter you are, okay, the more you're accepted. Okay, so it's a global thing. It's a global phenomenon. The thing is, us being American, we're out from the empire. We're outside of that. When you go outside the United States, you're outside the system.
Do y'all think that's a bad thing to be leaving what you fought for and your ancestors fought for? Do y'all think that's a just tough decision?
I did not fight for this.
Why? We didn't fight for this.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, we fought for the option to leave. Okay, when we leave, we take our passport with us, don't we not? Okay,
exactly.
Our ancestors fought for our rights to have options.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like voting. Yeah, we fought for the right to vote, but we also got the right to abstain.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, what do you want? If you really, just like some people that want to fight for the place of land, they're willing to die for the land they were actually born on. At some point, you got to say, you know what's best for me, my family, and my people. Okay, and it might not be here.
Yeah, and for your mind, your sanity.
Yeah. I hear that. I hear that all the time. The pro-black community is a gynocentric space in the first place, which is why I can't do what I do here over there. Okay, and that's the first thing I hear. I'm not leaving here because my ancestors fought for this shit. Motherfucker, if you want to die here and suffer here, go ahead, because I'm not.
Yeah, ancestors fought for options. Damn it, that's what they fought for.
Yeah, exactly. Options.
Yeah. So, like, when I was in Japan the first time when I was a kid, and Japanese girls talked to me that told me that I was American, and they just talked to me, and then I came back, and people, like my friends' families, were looking at me. I was in their house, like I was stealing something. Yeah, I became totally aware of the situation.
Yes,
and that's where I started becoming scared. And again, I went to France, no problems. Russia, no problems. I was in somebody's apartment, something like that. They're like, yeah, there's an American in the apartment. Who cares? Right? Here, race. And it's horrifying. I'm like, why do I want to stick around?
I mean, if you go to India, how the Dalits are treated is similar to us. Okay. Same thing with the Palestinians. Okay. There's a couple of other places that are like that, but that's inside an internal system. Okay.
Right.
Okay. The thing is, Black Americans. I tell Black men, okay. You got to remember, you're American outside the system. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your color doesn't matter as much outside the system. Okay. The thing is, what do you want? If you want to be here and that's what you want to do and you want to suffer here, that's that's on you.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
you're right.
Trust and believe. The funniest thing is, man, because one thing I like about the Passport Bros, okay, because it exposed exactly what the black men have been saying forever. Okay. And I had a Kenyan woman because she watched Pop the Balloon and said, why do your women treat you guys like that? She said, I would never do some stuff like that, like Pop the Balloon. I said, trust and believe, because I personally know 4,000 black women, okay, personally, okay. Sometimes know who their grandkids are and all kind of shit, right? And I've heard that many times they go to a club just to reject men and then come laugh about it because it's funny. It's like a pastime. So when I saw Pop, I knew Pop the Balloon would skyrocket in popularity because black women like that shit. Oh, girl, what do you wait? What'd she say to him? I said, ha 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 ha. Because it's funny.
Yeah. I'll give you a perfect example. So I was in Nice. I went to party in Cannes, right? One of the things I drastically noticed, and I was with someone from the States, and she noticed this as well. You did not see this false idolization of being on social media. I have to let the world know. Everyone was in the moment trying to enjoy themselves. People were pleasant. Women were complimenting each other. Hey, how are you? What's going on? You look nice. It wasn't this. Once you come back to the States, as for most males, brothers, it's like you can't even have a decent conversation or even have a presentable face because you're already in the pop. I call it the pop the balloon mode.
Yeah, and Pop the Balloon mode. I mean, that's why. Cause I'm gonna tell you, man. That's why I documented all this stuff because I heard Big J talk about 1752, right? Okay, and said how black women were actually put in charge. Okay, I said there's a reason for it. He didn't tell the whole story, right? Okay, pattern, I forget what it's called, right? The status of the womb, right? Okay, is because, and I said it on AB's channel, right? Okay, the status of the womb is because European law and custom did not allow for perpetual slavery. Okay, they had to change the law. Okay, they couldn't change for white women, but it could change for black women and black slaves. In other words, whatever came out of that black woman's womb was a slave. Okay, no place else in the world could you do that. I mean, no place in the world could you do that. Okay, the Americans were the first one that introduced chattel slavery through the female. Okay, so through the breeding camps and the family, women were actually put in charge over the family and the male by the white master. In fact, Dr. T just said this, right? Okay, there would be no black matriarchy without the enforcement of the white so-called patriarchy. Okay,
who created it? Who created those circumstances?
White people.
Right.
Yes. That was the white supremacy.
But who has to suffer under it?
All of us.
No. Black men.
Here we go.
Black men.
Here we go.
Black men were never supposed to be educated. Okay, ever. Okay.
Mohawk Conference.
During the Mohawk Conference, yeah. That's why I was referencing the Monahan report. Only 20% of black males ever graduated high school in the early 60s. Okay. Clark actually talked about this, okay? That's where Monahan, hold on, that's where Monahan got this shit from, okay? And the thing is, until the 1970s, because Monahan and the Kerner Commission demanded that these black men needed jobs, you had to bring these black men up to standard, up to code. That's when they started educating black men. So the best time for black male education was between 1968 and 1980, okay? After that, the white feminists flipped the whole game back around again.
I believe it. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry.
That's why I documented this stuff. Okay, I don't just talk. Okay, and the reason that people follow me, May, because I don't just talk. Okay, I actually show them and teach them where the fabric or where the stuff comes from. That's what I do. Okay.
I know you're the master weaver.
No, ain't no master weaver. In other words, prove me wrong, May. Go to the books and prove me wrong.
It's your perspective.
Go to the books and prove me wrong. Actually, Tommy Curry, Dr. Neal, and all these other people agree exactly what I'm saying. Basically, you can go back and read Frazier, okay? Frazier and Clark, okay?
I know you got a lot of books and stuff and references and
the
stuff.
thing is,
I know
what's the bane of black people? Y'all don't read, okay? I do.
But I read, but it's just not that topic.
No, you don't read. You don't read, okay?
I got you. See, there you go.
No, there I go. You don't read.
You see, you look at Theo Woff's wall. I got one just like that right beside me, and I read all my books.
No,
you don't know what I read. Stop that,
BGS. You don't read. Have you read the Monahan report? Okay, it's only 60 pages.
I'm not going to read that because I don't want to read it.
Well, then why are you here then?
But why? That's the conversation.
Have you read Kenneth Clark? Have you read Kenneth Clark's Dark Ghetto?
60 fucking years old.
Have you? And it's still relevant.
No.
Okay. It's still kind of nonsense. I can't stand, man. It's still relevant.
Tragedy and Hope was written in 65. They're still using it today, okay?
Y'all choose to use it, but you have to always remember
you
have to move your research forward. And
we're not choosing to use anything. The thing is, the United States is still using that
academics
blueprint.
use.
No. United States still base their stuff on the stuff that was done in the 60s, or including DEI, including affirmative action. Still based it on that, okay?
May I have a question for it?
Yeah.
My question to you is, if you choose not to read some of the hard material that is archived we're talking about massive think tanks, legislation, why do you continue to participate in these type of debates where you really have no interest in learning from, not even from the black male side? These are white male perspectives that are actually sitting and saying this direction for the black community is harmful.
Mm-hmm.
And mind you, white folks don't have to do this. They really don't.
They don't have to do what?
Write that literature.
They don't have to fight these fights. They don't have to come up with these massive endowments and funds to break down. Okay, is this the direction that we want to see the American black male family head this particular direction? Because at the end of the day, we're joint at the hip.
Yeah, we are. That's what they said. That's what the Mohan conference said. We're joint at the hip.
So
if you don't correct them, they'll drag you down with us.
Yes. So, I mean, you're seeing this now in America. I'll give a perfect look at the United Kingdom, right? Just like BGS has brought up, like neoliberalism, right? You see the extraction. They say, oh, you can, after World War II, you can buy a home, you can have the American dream, and now the money's run out.
Okay, after World War II, but guess who couldn't do it after World War II?
Black men.
Black men. Especially black people, right? You couldn't even get your GI Bill until what? 1968, okay? After the Kerner Commission. Which is the same thing, which is what? Guess who was advocating for it? Moynihan.
I think, so to answer the question and to address BGS as well, James, I think for me, I'm looking at things like, I guess maybe more progressively, in the sense that we as people have to start where we are and figure out how to move forward. And understanding the past is fine, but you do have to actually have a plan, and you have to figure out a way to counter, if you need to counter things that are barriers.
Ooh, guess where I heard that? That was 19 when I heard that. Okay. Guess what happened in the impending 40 some odd years? Nothing.
Yep. What do you mean? Those who don't learn from history.
What you just said produced nothing.
Zero.
Zippo.
Yep.
Zero. Zippo. Nada.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm talking about me. So me as an individual, this is what I'm looking. I'm looking at rugged individualism.
There's a big problem right there.
Anyway, let her finish. Let her finish. Okay.
What did I say so wrong?
Rugged individual. Where does it exist?
in each and every one of us. We all have
No, it
that trait.
doesn't.
No, it
No, it
doesn't.
doesn't.
I have never heard that terminology in my life.
I have.
I have.
White liberals, white liberals
White
on one
liberals do not
side.
say that. White
Hold on.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. White liberals on one side and so-called conservative liberals
On one
the other
side,
side say the same shit. Okay, they're
on
all
one
liberals.
side, anyway.
Yeah,
Yo,
on both
why you put
sides.
your head down? Was it that bad?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was bad.
Because it
It
doesn't
was
exist.
bad.
Because it doesn't exist. Okay.
May, this is like when white folks say pick yourself by your own bootstraps, and they've been socializing so much of their social benefits in so many ways to give them a head start.
When they talk about freaking health care, okay, they don't talk about rugged individualism. I'm gonna just put some ointment on it and keep going. They don't do that shit. It doesn't exist. Okay.
The thing about
let me throw a scenario out. Can I do that? Just throw a quick scenario out.
Make it short, okay?
I'll make it short, very quick. So we have a black man in America who is 25 years old. He hasn't necessarily made all his decisions like as a plan, but he's 25 and he has all the potential in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want that man to study the Moynihan report, worry
Yes.
about all the things that could befall him?
Yes.
Hold on. Or does that young man need to develop a plan for his life and have a structure and make like a real strategy, like a 1-year plan, a 5-year plan, and start taking action in his own life to create the world he wants to be in?
Yeah, he should be aware of how the United States works, okay? Because you go much further, you understand how it works, okay?
May, I will tell you.
Hold on. You asked me a question. Okay? Okay? If you understand how the environment works, you'll go a lot further, a lot faster, okay? In other words, if you read the Moynihan report about education and black male education, especially, you understand how to take advantage of what's in front of you, okay? Because trust and believe, the girls are gonna get the grants before you, okay? Trust and believe, the opportunities won't befall you. So you have to know how to navigate the structure, okay? So reading this stuff will help you a lot. Believe it or not, I wish I read it when I was a kid, when I was that young.
May, I'll tell you as a millennial, if I didn't fall into this space, I can tell you I would be a victim, hard body, because when you don't understand, or I wouldn't say don't understand, when you're not taught what goes on behind closed doors amongst white folks who mislead black men. And this is where you have this trauma bonding situation where it's like, you see it all the time. You got a successful black brother go to Harvard, he gets into these law firms, he gets fired and it's basically based off discrimination. But in his mind, he's like, hey, I'm a part of his peers, I'm da-da-da. And it becomes a psychological whip. And he's trying to figure out what happened. But again, as BJ said, if you studied the Moynihan report and all these things, you'd be like, oh, I know how these people operate.
In other words, if you read the Moynihan report, basically, by the time a man is 25, for the most part, what I'm teaching is probably, for the most part, it's probably too late, okay? Because the structure has already gotten to him. It's time to actually fix him. That's where Mookie comes in, okay? Like man, okay, to actually fix broken men. Go ahead. That's it.
What bothers me about what she just proposed is the fact that that same black man will spend most of his life learning white history and nothing about himself. And this whole thing, I mean, granted, it's important that we know how the system works, but learning about the past informs us in ways that we can't expect, because learning about the past helps us predict the future.
Yeah.
Because there is momentum to the past. I mean, because the United States doesn't turn on a dime. We know that change often takes decades unless something drastic happens. And this is the same way for every society on the planet. So if this man is just going to, do this whole thing where you're proposing that he builds his life and do all of this other stuff with no foundation, then he's not going to go anywhere, because that past is our foundation.
Yeah. I mean, and basically, if you could look at the motivational speakers, stuff like that, they start with what Think and Grow Rich, okay,
Yeah.
which is what was written in what 1910, 1915. Okay, that's the past. It hasn't changed. Okay, most of your motivational speakers, motivational tenets come from the past. Okay, it didn't change. Okay.
I mean, even think about the formation of the United States. You can find all of that stuff in a book that's 6,000 years old.
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff that's helping, dead second too. There's stuff that's helping men in family court right now. We actually uncovered the court of tenures, okay, the 10 years back, and then the court of chancery in 1840, okay, which is still based on, okay, family court is still based on that.
Yes, the U.S. legal system goes all the way back to the Roman canon.
Yes, it does.
And a lot of people don't know that.
I hear y'all, but y'all, I'm just gonna be honest. Y'all worship the Moynihan report for your own reasons. That's fine.
Have you read it?
Let me just.
Have
you read it?
You know already.
If you haven't read it, then don't discuss it.
I'm not discussing it.
Yeah.
And we're not worshiping it, we're referencing it.
May I ask you a question?
No, you can't. No, you can't. The thing is, how many times have you brought up the Moynihan report?
What I was gonna say is,
how many times have you brought up the Moynihan report?
You always you ask me.
How many times have you brought up the Moynihan report?
I bring it up all the time because you constantly talk about it.
You have not read it.
You bring it up.
Take an hour and read it.
Okay, I'll read it. Just for you,
Thank you.
I will read the damn thing.
And then you can bring it up. Okay.
May can I ask you a question?
I'm gonna take notes and I'm gonna send them to you.
Thank you. Okay.
That would be preferable.
Yeah.
May I have a question for you?
Yeah, James.
Are you
don't be shaking your head like that. You looking all disgusted.
He is disgusted.
Yeah, well, I'm disgusted. I'm just gonna tell you. You can't see my face. I am disgusted because I've heard this stuff from females for the past 20 or so years.
Yeah.
It's the same crap.
Same crap.
May, quick question. Are you Christian, Mormon? What's your religious belief?
I'm a failed Muslim.
Okay.
Oh boy. Okay.
All right. So let me ask you this: when
You're an apostate.
So, and I'm gonna use this as an example. Many times people will read the Quran, the Bible, for many reasons, but they use those contexts as references to help them navigate what is happening in their life at the current moment, or for whatever at the time being may be. Right? It is no different how we are trying to study through bullet points, through the Moynihan report, Dr. Clark. I mean, there's so many individuals who have brought light into this particular space where we're not being bamboozled, as Malcolm X would say, in so many ways. So this is why, like many men in this space use those reference points as hardliners, because at the end of the day, those were the very few that actually said, you know what, we have a problem. We need to address this. That is the number one thing that I think in our community, we always want to kick the can down the road, or we're just going to ignore it. We'll get past it.
And in other words, okay, say I walk into a doctor's office, right, and I got stage 3 cancer, right? Okay. First thing the doctor is going to try to ascertain, how did I get it? Okay. Whatever was the eating, family genetics, environment. How did I get to this point where, in this office where I have stage 3 cancer, right? That's the past. Okay. How the Black community has stage 3 cancer. Okay. Probably stage 4, but stage 3 cancer, right?
Great analogy.
So the thing is, how do we get here and how do we fix it? If you don't know how you got it, you can't fix it.
But that's the thing, BGS. I haven't heard what the prescription is.
It sure is. It's real easy. Not that hard. Okay. Number one, they give you you basically, okay, Black women asked for abortion and birth control back in 1910. Okay.
Oh goodness.
1910 they did. Where go back and read where abortion and what's her name started. She started in Harlem. Okay. Harlem is not a white suburb.
BGS, I'm talking about the prescription for self-empowerment for men.
I'm getting ready to tell you. Okay, are you listening or are you talking? Do you know what I'm getting ready to say?
Okay.
Do you know what I'm getting ready to say? Finish my sentence.
No, I don't. I have no idea.
So why are you talking?
Okay.
Why are you talking?
She got bad credit. That's why she's talking.
No. Why are you talking?
I'm quiet.
Why are you cutting me off? Okay.
I'm listening.
Okay. First thing is,
hold on.
First thing, one thing pro-blacks have it right. If you're pro-black, okay, you're anti-abortion and anti-feminism. Okay. I can tell you that from the heart. Okay. They don't believe in that shit. Okay. So all this woke shit, the hardcore pro-blacks do not believe in that shit. Okay. That's number one. The thing is, first of all, okay, you have to understand about family formation, the loose family formation that the black community have coming out of slavery. Okay. The reason that my grandmother could have 9 kids by 4 different men is because that is accepted. Okay. That shit was not accepted in the white community. Okay. So the most part, white women still get shamed for doing that bullshit. Okay. For them, low key. Okay. Like in Asia, that's not accepted in Asia. Okay.
No.
So the first thing I can tell you, because I've been to the continent, right? Okay, where we came from. Okay, the job of controlling the woman is not the man's job; it's the freaking woman's job. And the women get on your ass about that shit, just like they used to do in the South. Okay, in the South they used to get on your ass for being loose with your coochie. Okay, they used to get in your ass if you wasn't married.
We're still on women, but I'm listening.
Okay. Okay, because the women run this community. Okay, they do.
Oh wow,
they do.
Yep. Yes, they do.
I come from a pro-black pro-black conscious community background. Still in it because I talked to my mentor. She'll tell you the exact same thing I'm saying. Ivana Van Zandt will tell you the exact thing I'm saying. Okay, she'll tell you who runs the community. Umar, as much shit as he talks, will tell you the exact same thing. Okay,
he knows. Gynocrat.
Huh?
He's a gynocrat.
Basically, all black people are quote unquote gynocrats. We were raised in it. Okay, we had no choice. Okay, enforced by the black community, but by the white police. Okay, trust and believe. They say that white men used to get beat on. I tell you, every other week I had my father in Dallas actually put in the back of the police car to cool his heels over the weekend. Okay, it's always been that way.
I was expecting your answer or response.
Why are you talking?
Man-centered.
Why are you talking? Okay.
She can't help it.
Number one, it had okay. There's one thing that I forget her name. She said it in their eyes of watching God. Right, the 2 freest people in the United States of America are white men and black women because they do what they want. Okay. They're the one that actually give them the most independence and most freedom in their various communities. So they actually are. You can read it as far back as you want to. That's always been the case. Okay. And the thing is, family formation is not determined by the man in the black community. It's determined by the woman.
Sorry, I was muted, but you're talking about Hurston.
Yeah. It was Hurston? Was it already Hurston?
I think it was Hurston. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it probably was. Okay. And the thing is, even now, basically, if you include marriage, right, 80 to 90% of black men, black children, are raised by black women. Okay.
Can I talk yet? Just to say something.
No, you can't talk yet. Yeah. You asked me a question, okay? And unless you got something really good that I need to hear instead of the bullshit you've been pulling on me, okay?
I just want to ask you, what do the men need?
Exactly. That's why I told you to save it. Okay.
Okay.
Let me finish. Okay. You got to start where the root of the problem is. Okay. You got to start where the root of the problem is. Okay. If you really, the easiest way to fix the black community, and the men we're all on board with this, the women get out the fucking way. Okay. Is number one, every black woman, okay, that has a kid, especially, should give that child to their father. That's the first thing that should happen. Okay, here, especially if it's a boy. Hey, it's a boy. After he gets like 5 years old, after 10 years doctor, give him to the father. Okay, let him raise the kid. Okay, and they found out that a father raised kid does as well as a 2-parent household. That's that. Exactly. Okay,
that's facts.
Give the kid to his father. Second thing is you really want to improve the black community in the shortest period of time possible. Okay. Just like I did with my grandson when he was 3, right? Okay. My grandson was 3 years old. He studied an hour and a half a day. Okay, by the time he was 7, until the females in the family started interfering, he was studying 2.5 hours a day. Okay, the boy learned how to read and write at 3 years old. Okay, he was well ahead of his peers. Okay, until the women started getting in because it's too hard and you need to have more fun and yada 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 yada. Okay. If you just do those two, the third thing is, which is something that Moynihan talked about and Clark talked about, right? Because of the feminized Black community and the feminized schooling system, okay, you need to give Black boys their own separate educational system. Okay, you do those three things. One, you get a better community. 2, you get a rapid improvement of culture, and 3, you get much better men because women will not have any say so in it. Okay, because Black women. That's why I called it Miss White Woman. So I played what's his name about Black women holding a rolling pin. Black women refuse to give up power. In the 1970s, after the civil rights, Black men said, y'all need to step back and let us take the lead. And guess what? Black women decided, well, rather than give it to you, polymurder this shit. Rather than give it to you, even though you know you've fought, died, and bled for it, okay?
Just what I hear you saying.
Ain't your time to talk. You ask me a goddamn question, you're gonna listen to it, okay?
I got you.
What happened? Go back and I actually proved it. Go back and listen to what Polly Murray said in 1963. Her and Eleanor Roosevelt. Okay, that's where second wave feminism actually came from. That's where intersectional feminism came from. So all this shit come out of those two people, right? And Polly Murray said her own mouth. Okay, it would be better to give this stuff to white women, because they thought white women could change the venue faster than Black people could. Second thing is, Polly Murray and Black women and white women did not want Black men to have rights that they thought they couldn't have.
Yes.
83% of go look at Tim Wise is a sisterhood consensual. He said 83% of affirmative action go to white women. Why is that? Okay. White women didn't work for that shit. They didn't fight for that shit. It wasn't for them. Okay. It wasn't for them. That's why if you actually looked at the video I did when 106,000 Black women lost their jobs in April, okay, because of DEI, okay, you'd have known what I was talking about. That's how come Trump wiped all that shit out, okay, because all that shit DEI came from Johnson on forward, right? All this through executive orders, okay. That's why he wiped them all out. Let's go back to the law. And guess what happened? Okay, well, Black women lost 300,000 jobs. Guess who gained 100 some odd thousand jobs? Black men. I was telling them that I had told them that back in January when they actually wiped out DEI. I said I actually played this. This is why I played this.
How did Black men get those jobs?
Huh?
How do you figure those Black men got those jobs?
You're smart. What do you think?
Most places have been laid.
Sauce for the goose, Mr. Savick. The odds will be even.
How do you think?
They've been laying people off and have hiring freezes.
In other words, okay, there's two things that happen since Trump has been in office, right? That caused Black men to get more jobs. What do you think they were?
He's only been in 60 days. I don't know.
No, he's been in 6 months, about 6 months.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I know you're not a mathematical genius, but I think you can count. Okay.
I made a mistake.
No, you didn't.
No, he came in January.
And what month is this?
What?
What month is this?
Yeah, we through June.
60 days. Come on now.
I said I misspoke. I didn't mean 60 days. I misspoke. Jeez,
you're in the male space, okay?
I didn't mean 60 days. I misspoke.
You're in the male space. You don't get your balls busted in the male space.
Exactly.
Get used to it. Stop crying.
I
Stop
mean,
crying.
yeah,
Stop
she
crying. Stop
came out here laying her dick all over the table. Now she's
crying.
scared.
Oh no, my
I'm
God!
better
I
than
just spoke.
correcting
Oh my
myself.
goodness. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
okay, Mr.
what again? Answer my question. What are 2 reasons since you're so smart?
Why are you always on this smart and intellectual?
Because you
Let it
pretend
go.
to be. Because you're always complaining
I don't
about
pretend
me.
to be anything.
No, you're always complaining about what I am.
I got
What
more
I am.
degrees than all you Negroes on this
It
whole
doesn't.
panel.
And what does that mean? My daughters do too. So what?
And
Yeah, and
that's what I'm asking you, Ann.
And I write their papers. So what?
Please stop.
And they write their papers. My sister has a master's degree. I wrote her
I'm just
papers.
saying, nobody's in a position to be trying to judge nobody.
yeah, which we are. We are in the best position to judge.
With your degrees.
You haven't ran the gauntlet, sir.
With your degrees.
I'm just saying, you're not in a position.
With your degrees.
I was actually an educator, and I actually evaluated people.
With your
sign language.
With your degrees.
There you are.
What's the answer that I'm asking you?
Let's just stick to the thing, and I'm just saying this. BGS.
Say I don't know.
About what?
The question I asked. What are 2 reasons? You asked me how come black men got all these jobs? Okay, give me your answer.
You're saying in the last 6 months that these black women lost these jobs, and because of that, all these black men got those jobs.
No, it has nothing to do with that.
No.
I said
well, never mind.
There's 2 reasons. There's 2 reasons. Say you don't know.
You made it like it was a
say you don't know.
Type of thing.
Say you don't know. Say you don't know.
One did not have anything to
say
do with
you don't know.
It's not about any question.
Say you don't know. Say you don't know. Say you don't know.
These women had lost their jobs, and as a result, you made it sound like.
What question did you ask me? Stop deflecting. Stop deflecting. Say you don't know.
Charles, stop deflecting.
Say you don't know.
There's no deflection here.
Say you don't know.
What you sounded like you were saying.
Say you don't know. Say BGS. I do not know the answer.
In 6 months, there's no connection between black women losing their jobs and black men gaining them. Understood?
Please.
No, say you don't know.
Yeah.
Really, one of those reasons began with an I.
I asked him the question.
Yeah. And basically, is want to give me an answer. You kept running your mouth. Say you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Did black men
say
actually
you don't know
those women?
Say you don't know.
Jobs? No, they didn't.
Say you don't know.
Those government jobs.
Say you don't know.
It's not that the whole thing. You just
say you don't know.
Somebody with
answer
that only you have, and
say
nobody
you don't know.
Say
you don't know.
You got it. Just tell me.
No, they know what I'm saying.
I know exactly what he's talking about.
Okay. Basically, only black women lost 9,000 jobs that were actually government jobs. Okay,
I said that.
Only 9,000. Okay, where the rest of them come from? Automation in private business, especially pushing paperwork, right? Okay, those are DEI jobs. Number one, mostly held by who? 83% by who? White women. The other 10% are gay, LGBTQ white people. Okay, black people only got 5% of DEI jobs. Okay. So number one, if you cut those jobs, then white men and black men will actually replace these people. That's number one. Okay. Number two, most black men, have a blue collar or working class jobs. Okay, who are their competition? You can answer, or I can give you the competition. Okay, migrants.
I guess in Latinos,
exactly.
and guess who is getting pushed out of the country right now?
Latinos,
and guess who doesn't do those jobs that Latinos did? White women and black women.
Yeah, we're not finna do none of that. None of it.
Exactly. Thus, guess who gained by?
All right, there we go. Black men.
Shut up for a second, okay?
You just asked me and I answered.
No. I am old and I am mean because I had daughters with mouths like yours. Hush, because you talk too much. You don't know.
Let me put on mute then. Damn.
Yeah, please.
That's the reason why she ain't a Muslim no more, because they made her go sit in the women's section and shut up.
Be silent, woman. Be silent, woman.
And Muhammad, like, man, we gotta get her back to send her back to the
Yeah,
States.
send it back to send it back to where to
Oh,
women's
thank
training
you.
again, right?
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you for letting me up. Oh, I was so ready to eat the hug.
In other
What's
words,
good, BGS?
but had you looked at the video instead of the title, you'd have known
I
that.
couldn't take it. BGS.
Shut up.
The need to be right is strong with
Wrong
this
with
one.
this one. I know it is. Okay, she can't help it, okay?
I need to be right. Listen.
Whoa.
Calm down.
Yeah, dude, there ain't no need for all of
Yeah,
that.
they ain't only for that.
I ain't gonna call it that. Even though
You don't. We don't use that on my channel. Okay.
no need, no need.
There's a whole lot of things that you can say, and I use it sometimes, but very rarely. Okay. And there's no need for that. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Had you looked at the video completely, whether you like it or not, you'll learn something because it wasn't about black women. It's about DEI and black men. Why? Because I wanted to tell them, because they were up in arms about DEI. Oh, we're gonna lose jobs. Oh, it's gonna be bad for black men with DEI and all this yada yada yada. I said, no, it won't.
I heard that part.
4 months later, guess what happens? Okay, everything that I said came to pass because I knew what he was doing. All right. Okay. Even though you wouldn't get a leg up, guess what? You're not gonna get a leg down because white women and black women are actually in front of you. Okay.
Man, I see more females on TikTok going crazy right now.
Yeah, losing their jobs. It's Silicon Valley loves it, man, because they had a lot of DEI jobs. So a lot of black techie guys getting jobs because they actually do stuff.
Yeah, they don't have to contend with the bull crap no more.
They don't have to worry about Becky taking them space, pushing paper, and doing their nails. Okay.
Yeah, the bottom line is that women make.
Do y'all take any pleasure at all in women losing their jobs?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. For 60 years, y'all been running them up. 60 years, you've been running them up. We are so happy, so happy.
I personally do. I personally do not care. I got 2 daughters. I don't really care one way or the other. Okay. I teach my daughters to be the fastest camper. Okay. That's why
Yeah, I mean, some of y'all, if y'all have daughters,
I do have a daughter.
No, and don't even try to guilt trip game, sister. Don't even try.
I would say
guilt trip. I just said if y'all have daughters, it's something to think about.
No, you don't understand. You don't understand. The point is this. A dependent woman, which you are a dependent woman, I don't care how independent you think you are, you are dependent on the efforts of men in this society. So if my daughter gets with a man and she depends on that man, then she is doing precisely what she is supposed to do for her safety, for her children, and her future.
Yep.
That's how that works.
That's how it works. That's how it works around the world.
Now, I would say this in regards to the question, if anybody's pleased. I don't make broadcasts about people losing jobs personally on my channel. But I would say this: if you do lose it, there's always had to be precautious and be proactive of what if to come. And this message has been going around for years now, man.
Yeah.
And the problem is people wait until the fire gets too much that they get burned, instead of anticipating what we're gonna do to out any fires that's coming on the way.
You know, the funniest thing is I was looking at, I think it was somebody Roller Tomasi, right? They had 2 white women that actually knew Kevin Samuels, actually praising him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Praising him, okay? Saying how nice he was, how compassionate he was, how helpful he was, blah, 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 which that's the guy that I know, okay? How considerate he actually was. Kevin actually loved black women, believe it or not.
Yeah.
He was hurt.
Yeah.
He was hurt.
I don't know about that.
Why do you think he drank so many Red Bulls just to deal with y'all?
You don't know about it because you didn't know him, okay? Because I knew him. Okay. The mix and the mix had like 600 or 700 guys that actually earned 6 figures or more, right? Okay. And he wanted them to have black wives, okay? That's why he started talking to black women. He wanted them to have black, because Maria and Becky and Sanglu were actually hunting them folks down, okay?
Yep.
But he insisted, he used to actually turn away white women. They used to come to his show. He said, I'm here because I want to have black families. And I want the best of my sisters to be with the best of my men. That's what he wanted. Okay.
That man was a patron saint, and y'all dogged the crap out of him because he could not take constructive criticism and the truth. Period. Point blank.
You sound angry.
No,
the guy
I
with the
sound like I'm giving you the truth. You just don't like the format he's coming.
And guess what? Guess what AL has? He has a what?
I don't know.
A daughter. He's got a daughter.
Yes.
Oh wow.
And I've been married.
I was curious. The guy with the mouse avatar here, he said he is taking pleasure in women losing their jobs. Would you mind sharing why?
I said I'm taking pleasure.
Hey!
Oh,
That's it.
You talking about me? I did tell you why earlier.
Yeah.
It was about-
Tell it again. She it takes like 3 times for me.
I got
Okay.
ADHD. Okay, fuck it. I got ADHD.
Oh,
that's
bad.
a you problem.
That's bad for women. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the issue and I'm just going to be succinct. No matter how independent women think that they are today in Western society, they are still dependent on men because men are the ones who keep this whole thing running. So when it comes to my daughter and her being dependent on somebody, that is much preferable to the alternative, which is the feminism stuff that we have going right now, because it is important for her safety, it is important for her future, and it's important for whatever children that she's going to have. So dependence is not a bad thing. In fact, dependence is a great thing because all of us on this panel live in an interdependent state. We depend on the society that depends on the labor of other men.
I heard that part. I heard that, and I remember you saying that. But what I'm saying, you said you take pleasure, and I'm trying to figure out, what is it that makes you happy? Because that doesn't connect.
Because let me go ahead and give it to you straight. The women's liberation or feminist failure today is also their success, provided they go back to the natural way of doing things. And that's, understanding their dependence on men.
Okay, so you're hoping that they get committed to men because they don't have jobs.
No, they don't have a choice.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to get you. They don't have a choice.
Man, you have sisters living in storage units.
Choosing not to pay.
You have women choosing to live in a storage unit, still go on dates, go back and say like this is normal, versus actually trying to be with a man and say, you know what, I could lose my health, I can get sick. I mean, this is insanity.
Yeah,
maybe some women aren't wife material. Maybe that's why they're doing that.
Because they never. Most women.
Yeah, you might be right.
Most modern women are not wife material.
Exactly. They weren't trained to be. Yeah.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised that that's what they do. They grew up in a household without a father. He was absent, and so they don't see the need.
But man, at the end
of when will they actually see the need? Man.
Yes.
Hold on. No.
I think men can be objectified.
What question did I just ask you?
You asked me at what point they will.
Yes.
And I'm thinking that if they get desperate, they will be objectifying men.
If they get desperate,
they'll objectify men.
They'll not objectify, work with.
I don't
exactly
think
so. Work with.
Black women have never objectified black men in history ever.
Yeah, they do, because
they don't. No, they don't.
The idea that you need to provide, that's what Kevin Samuels all the time. That women want to look at money and income and hypergamy.
That's not objectifying, basically.
Well, that's objectification to me, because I think people are human.
To you.
Yeah, to me.
To you, okay?
That's not an objective definition of objectification.
It's just like a whole objectifies a trick. Okay.
You don't see the individual man as the value in and of himself, and that's worth being with. It's about what he can do. He's a provider, and that's it.
He's a workhorse. So the thing is, cooperate with him, get on his program because she has to.
BGS, can I ask you a question?
Which is all black men really want. For the most part. Go ahead.
BJs, and many of you brothers on this panel may have nephews, young children, who are, let's say, in their 20s getting into dating.
Mm-hmm.
Can you all agree that the amount of pressure for a young man to interact with a woman is astronomical?
No, not anymore. Not anymore.
No, I'm just saying in the sense of if he were if he were to engage with a modern day young woman now compared to 10, 15 years ago, because of the simple fact that 90%, my nephews tell me all the time, they be like, Unc, man, I don't want to deal with these chicks anymore. I say, why? Because man, they want this, they want that. I need to be doing this. I said,
yeah.
You only 20 years.
And I just did a video saying have black men voted for the couch. Basically, I could tell you, okay, I don't blame boys for not dating. Dating's not fun anymore. Okay,
No, it's not. It's not.
Dating's supposed to be pleasurable and fun. It's not fun. It's like going on a job interview. It's not fun. Oh, you gotta spend $200 on me. You gotta do this. You gotta do. Men don't want to hear that. So you know what? Guess what? I got a PlayStation, Xbox GTA 6 costs $75. Okay, and I can get how many hours out of this? Okay. I don't need all that. Basically, that's why that's how come I became monk at 50. Okay, in my 54 because of that kind of BS. I said I was done with it. Okay. Done with it. I don't want all that emotional labor that black women demand off of you. I got tired of that shit. Okay. You gotta take them out. Got to make them have fun. Got to listen to the goddamn problems. Got to make them have orgasm, all kind of shit, man. That's you know what?
We got to have them on panels and talk to them.
And on top of that, it never stops. Okay,
it never stops.
And when I step back and look and see, you know what? I've been doing this shit since I was 11 years old, man. I'm tired.
And they looking at the next man. Oh, he look better. Yeah. Let me see if I can go.
It's not okay. How you look, how you dress, how you talk, how much money you have, how much you spend, how good your dick is, blah 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 blah, on down the line. Okay, and the thing is, what do you get? Okay, because I used to ask all my girls, man, especially the ones that are serious with. Okay, all right, they want this, and this. Okay, what do I get out of the deal? And they look at you like funny, like,
you get me.
You get me. Yeah. And I'm a hardcore Gemini, right? What does that mean when you get me?
You get a headache.
Anyway. Get a headache. Yeah.
BGS, when you were talking on that stream, I listened to it.
Which stream was that?
To the whole thing about dating. That's what you said. Dating.
Voting for the couch. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. The couch.
So what did you get out of it?
You heard what I said, maybe on Big.
I didn't hear what you said. Said. I mean, I just did it. I just put it up yesterday. So how could you hear it? Did you hear it from?
I listened to it this morning.
Okay.
And I heard something personal from you. You said something about you used to like to date, and you didn't even want to have sex. You just want to hold a woman.
Okay. I mean, okay, May. I know it's hard for you to actually comprehend what I said. Okay.
You just talk to me without.
No. In other words, basically, you bring up stuff you would actually not understanding what I meant. I actually said what I meant. I said back then. Okay, it didn't take very much. Like I said, going on a date, getting an ice cream, sitting in the park, playing Scrabble games. Didn't take all that stuff.
I heard that.
Okay. And I said sometimes just holding her gave me immense pleasure. Just being with holding her, okay?
Yes.
Without sex, without all this stuff. In other words, all this other stuff they piled up on top of dating is unnecessary.
Yeah, sex is messy.
I mean, really? Okay, I learned about black women and sex. Okay, I learned that, man. I had to learn that the hard way about black women and sex. Okay?
That is messy.
But black women don't see sex the way other women see sex. Basically, other women see sex as something they have to give the man, right? Black women see something that men have to give them.
Yeah.
Well, what I was saying about that stream, it just seems to me, BGS, I don't know, it just humanized, the stream humanized you to me, very much so. And I just see you as like an old school player, and I just see you with like a nice lady. I don't know. That's how I'm seeing it. And I feel like that's
you got burned out. That's me.
I've had very nice women. I've had You know, I've gone through the gauntlet. I've had pregnancy scares. I had a whole bunch of shit. I got 3 kids. Okay, and a hard-headed baby mama. That's why we didn't make it. Okay.
I don't know. I see you as like, you know, jazz concerts with the linen on.
We should do that shit. We should do
Enjoying a nice
my thing is go to a nice club, okay, nice jazz club, or where they playing jazz. Okay,
Right.
20 buck entree. Sit down, listen to some music, have a couple of drinks if that's what you want. Get a couple appetizers, have a good time, and sit there and vibe. Okay, don't need this $200, $300 restaurant. Okay.
I agree.
So May, I'll give you a perfect example. This, and Theo and many of the men can attest to this. When the passport brothers, the guys that go overseas, they experience what BGS experienced 20 years ago now.
Right.
Yeah, I experienced that with my first wife.
Fundamental difference.
I've seen it. I've seen in Guatemala, the boys they go to the store, they get a liter Pepsi or Coke. Okay, they get a pizza, they sit down in the park and they eat it with their girl, and that's a date.
And he's doing that because they just want to simply get to know each other. He's not doing that because he's broke. Correct?
He basically, okay. The thing is what you have to understand about men. I'm gonna explain it to you. Okay. It's the obvious of being around a woman. Getting to know her is, you know, you have to get to know her is just to understand who she is, know how to deal with her. Okay, getting to know her. The obvious that she brings is what men actually want. Okay, because women, for the most part, if you think about it, and I said this, okay, most women are actually boring. Okay,
absolutely.
For the most part, most women have 2 or 3 things they like to do, and that's it. Most women are actually boring. Okay, but the thing is, her presence is what she brings. Okay, as far as dating is concerned. After that, then the regular family shit. Okay, because you're investing into a family, not into a woman. I tell men that all the time. Okay, about getting married. Okay, men do not work for the woman; they invest in their family. So that's why they're willing to put in all these hours and 90% of their pay, because it's not about her; it's about the family that he wants to build. That's it. Can tell you that. Okay, the money's going to the family that you want to build, not into the woman. Because actually, you know, I came up during the crack era. Sex is cheap. Okay, I came up time where the box is like $5. Okay, whereas the date is going to cost you $25, $30. The box is $5. I used to tell chicks, I can get the same thing on the corner for $5, and she's probably going to be better than you.
Now tell her the truth. Tell her the truth.
I'm not dating you to go to bed with you. I'm dating you for you actually be with me. Okay. Yes. If you can't do that. Okay. You trying to make this transactional. We can stop right now. Okay. I'm not buying. And I had a very beautiful woman. I'm not buying your sex. If that's what you want, you need to go find you another man. Okay. Find your trick, because when I trick, I don't spend a lot of money when I trick. Okay. And when I date, I don't trick. Okay.
But tell her the truth, BJ. Give her that black pill. Let her know how much the cost of pussy is costing now.
See, the thing is, that's too much for her. Okay, that's too much.
But it's support.
That's too much. The coffee girl, that's too much for her. But that's where it's headed. I've been warning women that's where it's headed in the first place. Okay?
To reinforce what BGS is saying, because Ron Wills talks about this too, and you know I've been around the block a couple of times. And the thing is, it's like this, man. We like just like the ambiance. It's just like, you know, sort of like having sex. All of the fun in sex is the build up. Man, once you nut, it's done. But that all day foreplay type of thing, just being close to her, just taking in what she is, and she's got to present in such a way that we find that attractive, and then it leads to the sex. And you know, and the sex is also that build up. That's just icing on the cake.
Yeah. Women in their mind, in their limited thinking, they think that ultimately sex is transactional. Okay, and that's the worst way to actually do things. Once men get in their minds that sex is transactional, okay, then it will flip the whole game. Okay, in other words, okay, how much is this costing me? Okay. Nope, I want to pay that. Okay, wait a minute. Let me go shop at the discount rack. See what I need. Okay.
Yeah, because most guys are not marrying women for the sex, because most of the time the sex is just average anyway.
Yeah, it is.
So is the goal to look for women who do not seek transactional relationships?
Well, the thing is,
I'm asking.
which is why they hate the manosphere, right? Because feminism has socialized men into that transactional sex is the goal, right? So you're supposed to pay. Though every woman that you meet is her vagina is worth $200-300, okay? As you're socialized, and which why they hate me. I say that's bullshit, okay? Because I know I've been there. I know it's bullshit, okay?
And May, I'm telling you right. I'm sorry. Go ahead, BJ. Hold on.
No, that's why the passport bros, okay, have opened up the whole world. Basically, I tell a black man there's 4 billion women on the planet.
BGS, please. They're more transactional than anybody.
Whoa, okay.
May,
They're
it's
way
true,
more
though.
transactional.
May.
Okay,
What do you say about cutting people off?
I'll be quiet.
Thank you. Okay. Open up the whole world. There's 4 billion women on the planet. Now, transactional. Now go.
BGS, they're way more transactional. The passport bros are very transactional.
Okay.
I have watched them.
I got this. Okay. The women are way more transactional, right? Okay. Granted.
The men.
Even no. Guess what? If the men could get it for free as the passport bro, guess what they would do?
We feel pain.
No. Hold on a second. If the men could actually go to a foreign country and get it for free without paying, guess what they would do?
If they could go get it for free?
Yes.
You think they're not gonna get it?
Oh no. Okay. What color crayon do you like, man?
Brown.
Brown. Okay. Brown crayon. Right. Okay. I'm gonna save this slowly. Now concentrate on ADHD. Right. Okay. If passport bros could go abroad and get pussy for free, would they pay for it?
No.
Okay. So in other words, women are transactional, right? When you go abroad, it's transactional, right? Right? Are you with me?
It's extremely transactional. Yeah.
Okay. But thing is, okay, in the United States, okay, what would it cost to actually do the transaction in the United States?
Same shit, just
$200, about $200, right? Okay.
Yeah, it's cheaper over there. Yeah.
In other words, basically, say I go to Mombasa, or I go to Ghana, or say I go to Colombia, right? It's going to cost me what? $20. $20. No, not 50 cents. Not quite that cheap, but yeah, $20. Okay, for the same thing, right? And guess what? I'm not going to get a 5. I'm going to get a 10. I'm going to get a 9 or 10.
We're moving our production overseas.
All of that is very transactional. That's all I'm saying. It's extremely
Okay, when you go shop, you actually do business, right, man? You have to buy shit, right?
Yo,
no. You have to buy stuff, right? Okay.
True.
So when you go shopping, do you shop for the best price? Will you pay? Would you pay 10 times the amount for the same product?
See this.
No. Stay with me.
We're talking economics.
No.
I'm not going to pay way more than what something's worth. But these are people.
Transaction means what? Economics, right? You're making a transaction, right? That's economics, right?
Right.
Am I correct?
Trade.
I get it.
May.
Hold on. I got this. Okay.
No.
Okay. So in other words, everybody keeps saying you're tricking. Okay.
There we go.
Everybody says passport bros are going overseas and tricking, right? Okay. To fly a chick into your state, minimum is $2,500, which you're gonna be with for that weekend or for that week, right? $2,500, right? Okay. If you fly to the DR or fly to Colombia or fly someplace else, right? You can get a trip, get a hotel, get a high class chick for half that. Why would I fly?
10 women in one weekend.
You probably can if you're in the right place. Okay, depending on the quality of the women. The thing is, so why, if it's transactional, that a lot of women actually demanded to be transactional, why would I waste my time here?
I'm glad you did this. I'm glad you said this, because that's what I was gonna say to you earlier when I came in. Remember the question I asked you?
No.
Are y'all family oriented? Are you promoting family oriented manhood or free agent?
Okay.
And this is the
Yeah,
conflict.
But it's
So
not
y'all
either
being
or.
transactional,
Let-
but you
let-
got dudes that are let me just finish. Y'all got dudes that are being transactional as a lifestyle, like Otheo here. They're gonna just pay for women over and over again, and they're gonna have lots of
Me, but
transactions.
No, hold on.
Over and over again.
Are the women
They're
in the
not
United
gonna
States,
be finished.
are the women in the United States transactional?
What I'm talking about, are we
Are the
family-oriented?
women in the
We're
United
not.
States transactional?
Every
Did you say
woman
they're not?
Are
can
the
be
women
accused
in
of
the
being.
United States transactional?
Yes,
Yes
sir.
or
We
no?
can be accused of
No,
that.
you are. You guys say it, okay? In public, you say it all the time, right? You're transactional, okay? So in other words, if because I got boomer sisters, right? Okay.
My question is family or free agent?
I'm talking right now, okay?
Okay.
I got boomer sisters, right? They weren't trained to be fucking wives, okay? When I came up, the wife training was slipping then, right? It's gone now. Why would I look for a wife in the United States when there aren't any?
There
Well,
are.
I'm trying to, where?
Where?
BGS,
man,
come on.
man, I'm a millennial. I'm
Where?
telling you straight up. If you can tell me where, as a millennial, please tell me. And I travel all through these states. I don't see none of that shit running around.
And also, on top of that, Ray, what part of life do you think is not transactional?
I admit
Oh, everything that we do is transactional. Like even including having a wife, because I do not want a wife who doesn't act like a wife. The transaction is to be my wife. I expect certain things from you, and for me to be her husband, she expects certain things from me. That is a trade. That is a transaction.
I agree.
Everything that we do is a transaction.
I agree. But all I'm saying is that a lot of times the passport bros, they are actually entering into nothing but a series and series of different women with different transactions.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I'm just saying, y'all
Most passport bros.
Y'all say you want family-oriented men who stand by and do all these things, but you can't do that.
Man, you can get that overseas.
Y'all not gonna connect what I'm saying.
No, because you're not a man and you ain't making no sense.
Yeah. Okay. And basically, okay. Guess where the wives are still trained?
Overseas.
Overseas.
They have
Exactly.
their mamas already. 70%.
And they still can hold a household.
Even the ones that are baby mamas overseas, like Latin America, okay. Guess what they still are? They're trained to be what?
We had this argument.
I'm talking, okay. Guess what they still are trained to be?
A wife waits for her husband.
No. Guess what they're still trained to be? Okay. Wives are trained to take care of a household. Why trust and believe? Why do you think my son only dates Latinos?
We disagree there.
You don't have to. You can if you want to. I know better.
Disagree. I think I think a wife is somebody who doesn't have children before she's married. That's me.
No,
that's some bullshit.
Really? You think that women who are wife material, they have lots of children before they're married?
They
really?
can.
They can.
They can have it all. Yes.
What about a young widow? Do you think she's less?
Yeah. My mother was a young widow.
Yeah. When do you start? When do you start training a girl to be a wife? Man.
This is just.
Nah, I want to hear that. Stop whining. When do you start training a girl to be a wife?
I think you're born into a family where that.
No.
Yeah, you're born into a family where that's expected.
You know what? I saw it because I could tell you. Okay. Even though I saw it, okay, the Latina girl.
You tell me the tea party.
Yeah, the tea set, right? Okay.
Yeah, you told me about it.
And I said, why did she's a year old? Why are you teaching her that? Right? She has to learn how to set a table. Okay.
Yeah.
She has to go through wife training. My mother said exactly the same thing. Even though she's a sharecropper, okay, her grandmother taught her how to cook and take care of a house. Okay, and she was 10. Okay, she was 9. Even though she had to go out and pick cotton. Okay, she was trained to do that. My mother is even when she doesn't want to do. My mother cannot stand a dirty house. Okay, she cannot stand food not cooked. Okay, she can't stand it because she was trained that way. Okay, had nothing to do with my father. Okay, nothing.
And at the same time, like back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, we had the entire industry was focused on women becoming wives because we had the easy bake ovens for the little girls. We had all of these toys that they would play with that trained them to become wives, and the boys they would roughhouse, and that trained them to become mostly soldiers and men who could fight.
Men could fight, men could build because you got to stand
and build. Yes, you had to
all kind of stuff. You were trained. You were trained to be a husband. Okay, training. Okay, I started in Guatemala. Me and started Willie Peak went back and forth with this for a long time, right? Until he actually saw with the Passport Bros, right? I saw more respect.
Yep.
A man got more respect from his wife by training, even though he lived in a freaking tin shack with no windows. Okay.
Yep. BGS. I'm telling you, I've seen it in my own in Haiti. All my uncles, work in the fields, going out in the city. They got more respect from the women that they are with now than the shit I see in America. A man can pay a mortgage, car notes, help with student loans, still sleep on the couch, still not get no sex.
Modern men.
Michelle Obama.
Modern men.
Michelle Obama. Yep.
It has nothing to do with what we're saying, man.
I don't know if y'all are modern men. Y'all not talking about 1940s.
No. Hey, I'm a millennial, and I'm telling you,
men for the most part, have not changed. For the most part.
So you saying y'all traditional?
I mean, it's y'all who aren't traditional, man. Women are not traditional. Well, you haven't been traditional since
the demands of manhood, okay, have not changed. Have
exactly.
They? What
I'm asking, are y'all traditional men or modern men?
Men have not changed, okay? Men ain't changed. I talked to thousands of men. Men ain't changed, okay? They haven't.
Food, sex, and peace.
Basically, most men that I talk to, even the younger ones, even the teenagers, right? Okay, in their mind, they're trying to take care of a family. They have to go out and work, and they have to take care of a woman, take care of a family. Okay, now they've been taught to instead of taking care of a wife, they have to take care of a girlfriend.
Yep,
like a girlfriend's supposed to be your wife, which she's not.
And that's where it's dangerous.
I ask because y'all love to use that term modern women, like as if y'all are not modern men.
Because modern women do. I mean, here's the deal, May. The thing, men have been doing the same thing for hundreds of thousands of years, and that thing is to take care of that woman because she could not exist on her own prior to modern. Now, the modern woman, she doesn't really need a man up over her. She needs the systems that men build to sustain her. That's what makes her a modern woman. But the thing with men is that men have to continue to maintain these things that modern women depend on.
Otherwise, you won't have it. Yeah.
Otherwise, you won't have it. That's the reason why men just haven't changed.
Yeah.
I want to say this. My made to contradict your whole thing that Passport Bro, the whole Passport Bro thing is transactional. My last trip overseas was to, and there's multiple stories, but I went to Amsterdam. I stayed with a girl I was talking to for free. She fed me, paid for a lot of my meals, and paid for like my bus pass to get around. Not look for anything in return. Then I had dinner with her family, and her family took me out and not have anything in return. That was the most non-transactional occurrence I had in years. I didn't have to pay anything. I've been to paying for stuff because I enjoyed everything, and they were good people. Even in South America, this one Colombian girl I was at paid for my taxi to get home and make sure I was safe, and invited me to her family function. She didn't know me from nothing. So to say that everybody's transaction when they go overseas, I mean everybody's trip overseas is transactional, that's BS. You can find genuine people over there way quicker than the United States. So that's
it's very easy to do. So when I go out, when I'm abroad, especially I'm there for an extended period of time. Of course, I'm classist, so I'm only dating upper middle class women and above. This is the way it is, and they can pay for their own parts. They're self-sufficient. They do not need a man's money in that way, right? So again, when I was with my fiance, who became my wife before, I mean, in the beginning, I paid for the dates, but then as time went on, we kind of just would bounce back and forth between each other, just the way it was. And, so she'd plan a date in some degree, and sometimes I'd plan a date, or just, we were thinking about a relationship going towards marriage. There wasn't any, she never asked me to pay her rent. Well, she had $30,000 in savings. Why would she need me to pay her rent? Right? She already had a job. She had a master's degree. Right? She was well established. She didn't need. So I mean, I made more money than her. I made twice as much money, and then when we got married, I was at 4 times her salary. Didn't matter. There was no transactional relationship between us at all.
I admire that, but most passport bros. Be honest, Theo. Most passport bros, they go for broker women, uneducated women who don't have money.
No, actually, I prefer them that way.
Well, let's go there. Let's go there.
You just had 2 passport bros tell you something different on one panel. Just 2.
Yeah.
But let's entertain that. So what if these guys dealing with women that's more affordable overseas and they're less educated? At least they found someone that's compatible and is on their program.
And they get what they want.
And the question asks why they can't find it here in America. And there's a lot of women that's broke.
There's a lot of broke women here in America too. That's true.
And the question is simple. Because they
culture.
The thing is, this is something I say, and passport bros have borne it out because they've traveled and they've interacted with other women, right? Okay, black men are the most egalitarian, easygoing, easy to get along with group of men on the planet. Okay, on the planet. Okay, because I've asked women from Asia to Latin America to Africa, they all say the same thing. Guess who they don't say that about? Black women.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Black American women are hard to get along with. That's what they say. They say the same thing. African women say black women in America are mean.
And when it comes to this whole the educated thing, both my ex-wives are educated. My first one was working on her PhD when we divorced. My second one was on her master's when we divorced. And believe me, I want a dumbass, damn near retarded woman now.
Wow.
I mean, if she got Down syndromes, that's a plus.
Think about what he's saying before you say
that's why I call educated women 92s. You have to have a reason to have
what
them.
did Maggie say?
Hey, this had.
Oh, I can tell you. I know what Maggie was because I talked to Maggie. Maggie would agree with me.
Oh.
Maggie, because Maggie, believe it or not, the job she does is as a psychiatrist. She actually deals with indigent black men. Okay, that's her job. Okay, all she deals with is black men in her work. Okay, that's why she knows them so well. Okay. And she would tell you the exact same thing that I'm telling you. Okay.
So
I'm sorry, real quick. Can I ask who the mouse? What's your name with the mouse?
Dead Set Anime.
I'm Dead Set Anime.
Dead Set Anime. Okay, I definitely gotta watch out for you. You are funny.
Man, I got a question for you.
Okay.
Yeah,
I need
my thing is when you say these brothers go overseas and date uneducated women, and, right, and all this hoopla. And I've seen the counter arguments from the international women because this false perception that because someone is in a third world country that they have no formal education, and I can tell you, a lot of these women are highly intelligent.
Yes,
just because they ain't got no computers, they ain't got no iMacs. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted.
But they do have iPhones.
Okay, right? Phones. Yeah.
They have iPhones.
They sell the coochie to get that stuff. Don't worry.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
Oh, okay. You know where the biggest concentration of prostitutes are? Okay, in the United States. Believe it or not.
What'd you say?
Yeah, I mean,
America has more prostitutes and sex workers.
Oh, I've heard this before.
In another country. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
America, I've had more women ask me for money, paying their rent, paying this or that, than any other country combined.
Yeah.
Like women abroad rarely ask me for help. The only women right now who are actually asking me for help, like for foreign women, are Ukrainian refugees who I know are in other countries because I asked for their papers and they show me registrations and they're like, yeah, I don't have money to eat. Can I have €100? And that's nothing. I'm like, okay, sure, you can have €100. American women would ask me to pay their rent, car, fix things, pay for their kids, pay for all kinds of stuff. I'm looking, I'm like, what's wrong with you?
And they brag about it on social media and they laugh about it.
Yeah. But Theo, how can you find these women over there that are educated and handle their own, but you can't find them in the United States? Why is that? And you know
No. She asked the question to Theo, let Theo answer it.
Let's just say, well, largely speaking, this country does not have a population of wives. And I'm finding, again, I've been here for 15 years back. What I have found is his continuous problems. And I won't even deal with it. So at this point, I mean, you're talking about women being able to take care of themselves and do this stuff. I'm not really seeing it out there. I don't even deal with it anymore.
Theo, I have a question for you.
Sure.
So obviously you're financially in a better situation than most, but do you find it quite interesting that even with the educated women, they still are the same ones that say, "I need help with this. I need." So this is to answer your question, May. Even with the social economic hierarchy of women, when with the PhDs, the masters, they still have their hands out.
Yes. They do.
They're the typical. I hate to say.
I have a daughter with a bachelor's, a daughter with a master's. I can tell you that's true.
So I have 2 master's degrees. Most of the women that I talk to in America either gonna have bachelor's or a master's. I usually don't go any lower than that, and they have financial problems. It is always there. They always need some sort of help. And I'm like, yo, hands off, man. I'm not even dealing with you. No way.
Okay, well, maybe that's a Black community problem. Maybe we
No. These are white chicks.
It is an American. It's an American problem.
It's an American problem. Yeah.
Oh, they're white.
But black one actually worse.
Oh.
Black one are worse.
Yeah.
Women actually hold most of the consumer debt in this country.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
You know what?
In fact, I wish I could tell you behind the scenes when I talk to PhDs that date other Black PhDs. Ooh.
Yeah, you don't want to date a PhD.
Believe it or not, okay, a lot of Black female PhDs go get dudes out of prison.
Yes.
Okay, this is too much, BGS. This is too much.
I'm telling you what I've been told by other Black PhDs. Okay.
BGS.
Y'all better take my example and start going after midgets. Midgets.
There's a reason that Black female PhDs get dudes out of prison because they can control them. Okay.
Yes, exactly. I was about to say that. Yeah.
Okay.
May, I'm gonna keep it real. I work in the prison system. I can tell you.
Hold on, El. Let James finish your question.
May, I work in the prison system. May, I can tell you, the inmates. You know who puts money on their canteen? Middle class, upper to middle class women.
Yeah.
We talk about women with pensions, women who are about to retire, women who are educators.
Yes.
Corporate, and all they got to do, they got like special apps.
Yeah, a friend of mine, she had a master's and she had 160 IQ, and guess what? Who she dated with? Prisoners.
Okay, so y'all are trying to make the point that these women would rather have a man who's locked up that they can control.
No, not locked up per se. What I'm saying is when they get out, okay, this is who they marry. I asked specifically why them. She said because they can get them locked up at a moment's notice if they get out of line.
Oh wow, this is too much.
In other words, basically, you don't know what you think you know.
May, my sister, hold on, May, my sister works for she works for it's an associate to Texas Instruments, but no, she works for National Instruments right here in Austin, Texas. Smart, educated, without a degree. She put herself into one of the third highest position within this company. Do you know who she married? She married a dope boy who served 15 years in the penitentiary. And do you know where he works? He works for the city of Austin Wastewater Management. She controls him.
Mm-hmm.
She gets that check every 2 weeks off the rip. You cannot tell me what these men are not saying is not true. It goes on every single day. Y'all know what y'all doing. Quit being naive.
And that's really the only community that really exists like that. Okay.
I used to go to Spelman. They have this thing. I didn't attend Spelman, but I used to go over there Market Fridays, and it's right in the middle of the hood. And one of the things that seems to be a what do you call rites of passage for these upper middle class Black women that go to Spelman. They want to go and hang out and date the ghetto dudes. And I always thought that was strange. I've always thought that was strange. Huh?
Why? Okay. The thing is, if you start listening to me, you actually start learning shit. Okay.
You've talked about the, what do you call it? The pathology of
the dark. All people have a dark side. Okay. Men do activities to actually experience their dark side. Women experience their dark side through their men. Okay, so I've seen very rich women, okay, in Los Angeles date a dope boy, okay, or even have a baby by a dope boy. Doesn't make sense on the surface until you actually see them in action. They project their dark side through that man.
BGS, I got.
That's why you can turn out a white girl, boy.
You can. You sure can. That's another. Yeah, that's another thing about
BGS. I got a partner.
Well, white women used to do anything. Now Black women do almost the same shit.
Yeah, true.
I got a partner.
Except help your men. They won't do that.
If it was a white woman, she gonna be Jewish.
You were going to touch on something, and I need you to get back to it. Please elaborate on the highest concentration of prostitution, the area in the United States.
Oh yeah, what I'm saying is the United States has more prostitutes per capita than any other country, but it's
Please define what you mean by prostitute, though, BGS.
Sex worker, you sell pussy or penis, okay?
That means on
Instagram. Hopefully, you know the definition of prostitute.
Are you considering those women on OnlyFans who are open to? Are you talking about them?
They're sex workers. And guess what? OnlyFans women sell on the side. Okay,
right.
They sell coochie.
They sell coochie.
Most of it's going to be online.
So what's it? What?
Most of it will be online.
No, I know some Walmart cashiers who sell it.
They sell coochie, okay. And most of the sex workers are not OnlyFans girls.
No, they're not. Like I said, they work at Walmart. They work at Burger King. They're everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
I still don't understand how you're defining that. That means it's open to the public, or they just pay for play with individual men. How's the prostitute gonna get her customers? Networking. Okay, I was gonna say host trolling, but maybe I'm a little.
No, you go. Sometimes.
Wait a minute. Wait. So host troll is in a private neighborhood with gates around it.
No, I'm saying that's why I would. When I think about solicitation, I think about you're somewhere public and you're letting people know. It's like a truck stop.
Truck stop is one. The thing is, they have a newspaper. It used to be what is it?
Backpage.
Backpage. Okay?
Yep.
Back. The other versions of Backpage. A lot of them sell coochie in
on dating apps. They sell them on dating apps too.
That's what I said. It's mostly online then.
No, it's not mostly online. No. I can go to the Burger King right down. I can go to the McDonald's right down the street right now. Ask for a Happy Meal, and the girl will know what I'm talking about.
Yep. Why does it matter how they sell coochie?
It's all semantics, lady.
Why does it matter how they sell it?
Because you're saying such a large number of women.
Why does it matter how they sell it?
I ain't seeing women out here selling it, so it's gotta be online. That's why you don't see it.
Okay.
You don't see too much of anything.
You know what? I don't know if you're in Atlanta, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they sell it.
Nah, I know she's lying. Set Atlanta off the chain.
Where am I going to see it?
Everybody laughing. Atlanta got several trolls, man. What are you talking about?
In fact, those prostitutes so hot you don't even know what sex they are.
Where am I going to see it?
Right across the street from the
I can see May driving down the street.
To be precise.
Hey, I can see May driving down the street. Why are all these girls out here with short skirts on and driving by? What are they doing? Okay, must be. It's too early for the club.
And she don't even know that a third of them is a man.
That's another form. Especially Atlanta. Okay,
Atlanta is crazy.
Atlanta has more male prostitutes per capita than any other planet in America. Okay.
I lose my innocence every time I come around y'all. Y'all be saying some outrageous stuff.
Is it hard to believe?
Wait a minute. Atlanta, the home of Freaknik?
Yeah, I mean, really?
Are you kidding?
Walking down the street, we have strip clubs.
No, wait. Are you kidding? The home of Freaknik? The home of Freaknik?
Miss me, no.
Freaknik ended 10 years ago.
The home of the strip clubs, okay?
Well, what happens is that everybody brought the degeneracy to the city. So don't blame the city because everybody brought the degeneracy.
That's what Atlanta's known for, okay?
Atlanta's always been known for degeneracy.
Nobody bring degeneracy there. It was already there. That's how to make
the Houston Buck Naked clubs, the Atlanta strip clubs, and the French Quarter, known for prostitution. Okay?
That's why I said we got strip clubs. I know they're selling it in there. I know they selling it in there. I used to go to the strip club.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, AB. Somebody's trying to get in. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me get in for a minute. You guys had a mayor named Keisha Land.
Bottom.
Here we go.
Come on now.
Hey. What would Kevin say? God damn it! You cannot make this shit up.
Oh my gosh!
When I heard that, that's perfect. That's a perfect mirror for Atlanta.
Oh man, you're funny.
Keisha Land.
You are.
You're funny.
I mean, May, are you really this naive, or are you just putting?
Come on,
no, she talking shit, bro.
If you lived in the middle of Iowa, I could understand. You live in Atlanta. Come on, baby.
I'm telling you. Yeah. Let me tell you. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all where I know they sell booty at in Atlanta. There's a place called Ponce de Leon.
No, they sell it at your house.
That's one. Where's the next one?
And then I know they sell it at the strip club because my friend Umar, when I took him for his birthday to the strip club, he went to the ATM and there was this tall chick and he said he was gonna ask her if he could buy it, and he got money out, and I told him that's not nice. And he asked her anyway, and she was negotiating the money. So I know for a fact.
That's two. What's three?
So you said that Dr. Umar party.
Say Lenox Mall.
Hey, you know what? And
then they got these truck stops and these hotels. These hotels,
truck stops and hotels. You know, they have Atlanta's famous for freak parties where they come in.
It ain't prostitution.
No, that's not prostitution.
No, she's talking about the swing and sing.
The swing and sing.
Yeah.
All over that piece. So miss me with them. I've trucked there 5 times. I know.
Trust and believe, okay?
That you're a lot lizard.
There's
I don't do lot lizards, sweetheart.
But the thing is, a lot lizards try to do you. They will knock on your door, okay?
Every day.
Man,
you trying to buy a date, baby? No, baby.
Don't bust the sign with that.
Hey, sometimes you give them $5 to go away because you won't go away. Hey, you know what, baby? Go buy some coffee. Okay, get away from my door.
Got signs. Real owner operators, we got signs. It's like, remember the little Ghostbuster sign when you had the ghost coming through there with the
Yeah.
We got a picture of a gator, which represents a lock lizard. She's in a dress, swinging her hips, and it's a circle around her. And that little bars, don't come to my door. Don't come to my door. You might catch a gun to your face. For real.
What I'm saying is, okay. Now this is stuff we talk about all the time. It has nothing to do with worshiping women. In fact, you said it's the opposite. Okay, it's about men and what men do. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And how we navigate the world, okay?
I just again, you're talking about workers. Okay, so there's 3 blocks away from me. There's a Sonic. On the back of there, there's workers. Yeah. And then there's a gas station. Behind the gas station, there are workers, and it's snow bunnies and Latinas who are doing that. Then my class students are in. Oh no, this would be bad, but. There's a Waffle House about 1 mile away from me.
A Waffle House, bruh. Yes.
Come on,
behind
man.
the Waffle House.
Come
behind
on,
the Waffle
man.
House. There's trailers. There's trailers and there's a road.
Trailers,
It's kind of
that's
a gravel road.
Oh
They
yeah,
got them right there.
come on, man. Waffle House, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
behind Waffle House. That's right.
Damn.
IHOP won't let them on the premises, but Waffle House, you can get
Yeah,
them.
Waffle House. That sounds about right. That sounds
Yeah,
about
because in that area, there's a Waffle House, there's a gas station, and then there's 2 hotels. So all the hotel people got to do is just walk out the back, and they go to that like kind of gravel alley, and then they've got the trailer parks, and they got the the sex workers.
Yeah.
They're right there.
Right there, yeah.
And the Asians got the massage parlors on lock, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, they big on the mall.
Yeah,
Well,
they,
they give good
yeah,
service.
the Asian. Yeah,
They
I
give
forgot
good
that.
service.
That's another one.
they do get good service. Yep.
You know what?
You had it? You had it?
Oh, hell yeah.
Actually taking their places in New York City, the Venezuelans, okay?
Oh, get out of here.
Yes.
Fat
Oh,
ass.
yeah.
Oh,
They're in the
yeah,
Bronx.
Venezuelans, yo, the
They're
Venezuelans.
all in the Bronx.
Oh,
They
yeah.
taking
They were
that
taking
pussy
over.
over.
Oh, yeah. They have mattresses on the sidewalk.
No,
Yeah.
I ain't doing all that now.
No, they're not gonna do it on the side. They're advertising. Okay.
Okay, gotcha.
That's their way
They
of communicating.
communicating. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, because when I was in the military, man, and when I was stationed in Oklahoma, man, you go down to the massage parlor, get your business done, and you do that during lunch, and then go back on duty and be done.
Yeah. That's why they love. That's why they love Pattaya. Thailand.
Now, dude, check this out. As soon as the Ukrainians came over here as refugees, when they was up in New York, you think they wasn't fucking on mattresses on the ground? Yes, they sure was, brother. Trust.
It wasn't just
Wow.
boots on the ground, huh?
You ain't
Y'all
shit.
remember we literally covered that. We literally covered that when they first came into town because it was dudes in New York who was snitching and telling, man, look, these dudes were literally showing pictures. Man, look, they fucking outside on the ground on
Yeah, oh yeah. Man. I showed a video of them right after the war started, right? And you saw like 10 of them in an alley, man, giving it up on the mattresses. Okay.
Wow.
May, especially when
they got to survive. So it is what
Yeah,
it is.
That's the
especially
woman is a
deeper
consummate
these-
survivor.
Yeah, when these job cuts get deeper and deeper.
Oh yeah, it's already happening.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we remember the crack era.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I can see it now, boy. 100 pointing the thumb down, lower. 890.
Lower.
Lower.
We lived through this, man.
Yeah,
We
I
lived
lived
through it.
I lived through it.
Yeah.
I remember. I
Join the
asked your
military.
sister.
You do know that, right? Women will join the military.
No, they won't.
No. Women in the military were prostituting too.
Yes, they
Yeah.
were.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they were.
Why do you think the Navy puts women on carriers? Okay.
hmm
Y'all
Why
got
you think
it.
they did?
You got so much. The military is filled with so much sex that most people who don't serve don't even know it.
They're freaky. Don't stay there selling it.
They do sell it. They sell it. They freak. They do everything.
And then they get pregnant trying to get out of the military.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Can you say my ex-wife? Can you say my ex-wife? Yes.
Oh yes, yeah. I mean, we're not telling something we don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know where you've been, but I don't. You're probably not as sheltered as you claim to be.
Man, come hang with this young millennial.
Club and I done seen some stuff.
No, man, come hang. Man, come hang with this millennial right here. I can show you the degeneracy, right?
Yeah,
365.
Oh, she know where the spots are, man. She's in it.
Yeah, she just over here talking shit.
Talking
That's
shit.
what she's
Who
doing.
acted like they was innocent? I never acted like I was innocent. I didn't
No,
admit it all the time.
well, I've never seen. What kind of places are you guys around? I've never seen people act like this. Ew, well, where you guys been from?
I
Oh,
said it has to be online.
No, it don't.
I
Look,
May,
down the
May,
street selling butt. That's all I'm saying.
you know where to go, where they're at.
Well, I'm a woman. What would I know I just told you. Like
you
boy right here, he's a trucker. He knows where the lot is. I don't. I'm not a trucker.
May, you know what a stroll is. Everybody knows what a stroll is. Okay.
I told you, Ponce de Leon.
See, there you go.
There you go.
Jeez.
I had to. I named the places I seen prostitutes. I just said I believe most of them are online.
I don't say you have to buy. Okay.
Yeah,
I was just saying. I think most prostitution is online.
Actually,
most
of the prostitution is not online.
No, it's not online, man.
Prostitution demands tactile behavior.
And most prostitutes are not pros. Actually, street prostitutes that like to try to feed their family. Okay.
Exactly.
And the reason they're not online is because they don't want to be known. Okay, they want to not on. That's why.
Landon,
right now,
is not gay. Ponce de Leon is not gay.
I didn't say they weren't.
Nobody said it was.
I think somebody
in the chat.
Oh, you said Ponce is gay.
I would have it. I wouldn't know one way or the other.
I don't live in Atlanta. But I tell you what, like I live like in Baltimore City. I live 1 block from Bolton Hill, and these are $1 million to $500,000 houses, and the white chicks are in there selling.
Yeah.
But when the white girls do it, it's called escorting. You know, they don't.
Yeah, they call it escorting.
No,
yeah, exactly.
White girls, high end white girls, but
white women. So I could believe that most of the women,
white women are street hoes too. White women street hoes too.
They street hoes too. But yeah, these.
And go by the trailer park one day, okay?
Oh, trailer park wide open.
Wide open.
BGS, tell about the days of the strawberries.
And the thing about it, here's the thing, May. You keep on talking about things being online. The thing is, long before there was an internet, they were doing this shit. This ain't nothing new.
Okay. For a woman to be online and sell coochie, right? That means she has to be able to be identified. Okay.
Exactly.
Most women selling coochie don't want to be identified. Most prostitutes are actually on the street. Okay. Most of them. Okay.
And let's be truthful. A good portion of them are single mothers.
A single mother, yeah, single mothers especially trying to feed your kids. Yeah. Which is sad. Yeah.
Wow.
But she giving up that donkey.
Hey, you know what? I went to pick up like a year ago, I went to pick up my grandson a pizza, right? And right down the street, basically there's where the homeless used to hang out, okay? I saw like 8 of them sitting on the fence. I said, oh shit, I don't know what they're there for. All women, all homeless women, there to sell coochie. Yeah.
They come to Pigtown in Baltimore.
If I was younger,
I tell you what, come to Pigtown in Baltimore near the methadone clinic. You're gonna see all kinds of.
Go to Philly, man. Go to Philly.
Right there, damn.
Philly's off the chain.
Philly's crazy.
Want white prostitutes? Go to Philly, man.
Tell her about Figueroa. Tell about Figueroa.
I mean, look at that. California Figueroa.
Oh, Fig is more upscale, man. Go if you want cheap, go down Western Avenue. Okay.
He's like, you want cheap, go down to Western Avenue.
Why do you think Kristen Karazin's father moved them from 94th and Central? Because of the host stroll down there. You had to move them out of the way.
Look, I was looking on YouTube at some of the the guy driving through the strip, and I was like, man, some of these chicks look kind of good.
Fig is more upscale because people coming from downtown and USC have to drive down Fig, so it's a little bit more upscale. But thing is, you go off beat like Western Avenue or even Central, or a couple of other places, basically, then you can actually start to decline. Like you go downtown, you have the homeless women selling coochie.
Oh hell!
Shit, don't think these college university chicks ain't doing it either.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I know a girl who went to who was working on her PhD at Hopkins, and she used to babysit my daughter, and she was a sugar baby.
Yep.
And she's an archaeologist too. I mean, she was post grad.
Yeah, upscale. Yeah.
Now, boss, you laughed it off, but really, she needs to understand how these prices go. Let her know about the generation of the strawberry, how low the prices got for that, and where it's gonna get to now.
Okay. I always tell you, a vagina is a commodity. Just her womb with kids, what the extra value is. Her vagina is not, okay? It's a
Exactly.
commodity, okay? It's a commodity, okay? The thing is actually relegated to market forces, right? More supply and dropping demand. Guess what? Prices have to go down. So I've been telling y'all that for 10 years, okay? Just wait. Eventually, the government's going to get tired of supporting women to go and actually run out of money. They've run out of money. That's the problem, right?
They are running out of money.
Like the congressman that got killed in was it Illinois? Is it
Minnesota?
Minnesota, right? Okay, it's because they killed a medical bill in Minnesota where they wasn't going to pay for it, right? That's how come they got shot. Okay, in other words, there's no more money in the system, right? So basically, people are going to get the station net cut. And what's going to happen? Okay, why you think they decriminalize prostitution across the country?
Yeah,
they don't have jobs for these chicks no more. They're gonna have to do something with them, right? And the
they got something. Sell your pussy.
The biggest problem why DEI is a problem, okay, especially with AI and automation, right? Okay, is they send a lot of women, especially black women, and to get degrees with all these loans to get these paper pushing jobs, which they needed at the time, right? Okay. I was telling Char Willie and a whole bunch. I'm gonna have to find that video because I actually produced it, right? 2018, I was telling them that. I said, is you're gonna have to change what you do, gonna have to upskill yourself because your jobs are gonna go away, okay? And I said that in 2018, they're slowly but surely winding their ways through the system, right? Okay, with Trump, with COVID and what Trump is doing, he's doing it faster than people actually expect. Okay, so all the DEI jobs with automation and with AI and automation, okay, all those white collar paper pushing jobs are mostly female, black and white women. Okay.
Yeah.
I see so many white women in their cars crying about them getting laid off. Okay. Google just laid off 20,000 people. Google.
BGS. When I say talk to Charlie, I haven't talked to her in a while. Is she okay?
As far as I know, she was okay. I'm not going to say exactly what went down with Char Willie and that group because if you talk to me offline, I can tell you. I'm not going to tell you online.
Please, because I'm concerned.
It's something. It has something to do with Cerulean and what went on down there. So anyway, there's a whole bunch of stuff that happened. Last time I talked to her was right after COVID. Okay, because she had a channel. I don't know what happened to her since.
Yeah, because she shut down her channel like 2-3 years ago, and ever since then, I don't know what happened to her.
Yeah, you know what? I was trying to help. I was trying to help them build their channel up, but I kept getting attacked, so I left. Okay, people think I go visit your channel because I want to talk to you. No, I don't. I'm trying to bring people to you. What's his name? Kev found that out, right? I said, man, I'm trying to bring people to your channel. I'm not trying to take over your channel. I'm trying to.
But BGS, we'll talk more about that.
I'm on because I'm on here with you because people follow me. Okay, I'm trying to bring people to you. Okay, AB knows that. Art knows that. Everybody else knows that. I'm not. I could be doing other things than sitting up for 2-3 hours on somebody else's channel. I don't have to do that.
Hey, BGS.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, interrupt real quick. I know I'm probably very improper for being up this late and on here with y'all men's, but I got 2 assignments from you, and one assignment I'm about to go. One assignment is to read the Moynihan report. As much as it pains me, I'm going.
I actually read through the whole thing with supporting material. You can actually go to my channel and hit my playlist with Moynihan reports right there. You don't want to read it, okay?
Okay, which channel? Which channel?
When you just hit more channels, probably Moynihan reports probably on the playlist. Okay, I read through the whole thing. I think I did 6, 7, or 8 videos, like 15 minutes a piece. Okay, actually put in supporting material and stuff like that around it too. So,
with my ADHD, that will work. 15-minute increments. I think I can handle it. And then my second assignment that I think I have gotten somehow from this is I'm going to drive around Atlanta and see if I can find some prostitutes. Just
please. All you got to do is ask because they'll tell you where they're at.
No, I got a exit 11, 285 across the street from the blue flame, the petrol, the iron skillet. You look left and you look right at that intersection in front of the strip club or across the street in front of the goddamn truck. They're gonna be walking the stroll. I promise you, you'll find everything.
Just hang around them YNs. They'll show you everything you need to see.
Oh, you funny. You funny. But listen, I appreciate y'all. Thanks for not cussing me out and being patient. And Theo, don't get a headache, okay?
No, you gotta get a headache. What's that, Theo?
What's that, bro?
What's that?
Well, buddy.
What's
new
that
scale. My new scale, body scale.
Oh, body scale. Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, all you hoes and your mammy and your granny too. I'm sick of this shit. Fuck all you hoes. Don't give a damn, bitch, what you wanna do.
Chaos.
They like the chaos.
They like the chaos. So when you're able to
Chaos.
let that chaos reign with,
Chaos.
let that chaos reign with,
Chaos.
let that chaos reign with,
Must